and this will be the star of the show today. I'm going to be doing a review on my 2020 Hobie Outback. Okay, just to put in perspective, here is what I have. Front is a crate, contains 2 batteries in there. One is going to be for the black box, and then the other is for the actual monitor itself. And then the black box is right there. The black box is what controls or what sends the signal from the transducer into the black box, and then the black box relays it to my monitor, which I forgot to grab. Let me go grab that real quick. Here's my monitor. I have the Garmin XSV 1022. There's my Mirage Drive 180, not the 360. I'm not that fancy. An extra battery, and then that is the EcoMap DV. It's just my graph chart. This one I have dedicated just for my LiveScope. There's the transducer, of course, a little bit more mounting hardware right there. Got the oars right there, just in case the water is too skinny and I need to use that so that I don't scrape my fins on the ground. And then, of course, here is my Hobie itself. I have the extra large wheels on it just in case I go to the beach, make it easier to lug around. And then here is the seat. I have it tagged right now because I went to the lake recently. That way I avoid the inspection lane. So yeah, let me put it together and show you how it all works. So for those of you who have never used a Hobie before, super awesome to use, really easy. Put them away like this, they're locked. But when they're down like this, they're open. So let me go ahead and show you how it looks when you put the drive in. So here's the drive. Here's how it looks. Numbers are facing the right way, so that's how you know it's supposed to sit in the slot like this. Let me go ahead and slide it in there. All right. Let me go ahead and lift these clips, pull it towards me to open, and then as you see, it went in there into the slot. Push these forward and it locks it, so it's not all wobbly. So it's in there nice and snug. And here's how it looks when we go ahead and pedal. That's pretty much it. So in reverse, you just simply pull this red lever right here. All right, and I think that switches the angle of the fins. And then just kick and you start going backwards. So that's how the drive system works on the Hobie's 180 drive. And then to switch back to forward, just pull this lever. Pull this lever right here, bam, now it's in forward. The good thing about these drives, these newer ones in the 2020 and more newer, is they have the flip up fins, meaning if you are going to run your kayak aground, then the kayak, the fins itself will actually come up. For example, here's the shoreline and you go too shallow, bam, the fins automatically come up. That way you don't have broken rods and broken fins and all that stuff. And then when you're ready to pedal, the water force will just automatically make it stand back up and you're good to go, as if nothing happened. So that's a pretty cool feature of these newer Mirage drives. Again, I believe it is in the 2020 and more modern. So now let's take a look at the rudder system. So the way that this rudder is designed is you pull this string. Actually, this one is for this transducer. This one right here is for the rudder. So in order to release the rudder and drop it, you just pull it towards you and pull it to the left, and then it drops. And then to steer it, what I love about these newer generation kayaks is they're dual handled or dual steered. You got one on the left side or on the right side in case you need to switch hands. And you just simply turn it like this. As you can see, as I'm turning this one, the other one turns too. And that's the entire rudder system and the drive system. I already showed you the drive system. It is really awesome, really easy to use. Hobies are, in my opinion, the best kayaks in the business. I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash for saying that, but I'm just really biased towards Hobie. The stability is top tier. You can completely stand on your legs and not have to be worried about flipping over. You'll have to try really, really hard to flip over. And then to pull up the rudder, I'm gonna show you right now. Simply the same way. Pull it and then move it to the right. That way the teeth can catch onto it. Oop, I need to redo that. There we go. See how the teeth caught onto it right there? Bam, now the rudder's up and it is safe to transport and beach your kayak. So you got this compartment right here. The battery, actually, one of the batteries goes into here. Got my life jacket in here, of course. One of the battery goes right here. And you connect the terminals right here, and then you just strap it in right here. Let me show you how to mount this monitor that I have going on right here. I don't really use this monitor specifically too much, mainly when I go saltwater fishing. Let's say I'm going to La Jolla or Newport, then I'll go ahead and use this rail. There it goes. Simply slide in there and then twist it as the little teeth in there catches. Just twist it clockwise to tighten. These ram mounts are really simple to use. So we have the ram mount tightened right there nicely. We go ahead and grab this part. You want to loosen it. The more you loosen it, then the wider this gets. And then you should be able to put the ball right over it, just like that, and tighten it up. You can put it as high as you want, as low as you'd like, as far away as you'd like. So then we'll go ahead and connect the terminals. There it goes. And then just turn it. Okay. So that goes that. And then again, to give it power, plug in the battery over here, and you're all set. Now, one complaint that I do have is the seat. It's a little hard to get the seat caught onto or put into the right spot. So there's these little lips right here that catch onto this bar that prevents it from lifting up. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a first shot and see what happens. But pretty much in a nutshell, what you do is you slide it into here. Make sure that these grooves are caught into that slot. And then bring the seat backwards. And then you have this strap right here you just clip on. And bam. Ah, pretty good. Because usually sometimes the seat will still kind of lift. But I think I did good, so the seat's not lifting. Because while you're kicking, you're going to be putting a lot of force up. So that's the seat right there. Really easy to put on sometimes, for the most part. And then let me show you lastly my LiveScope. Go ahead and clamp this on. Pretty much the same as before. Slide it in there. And then this monitor is a little bit heavier, so I like to go ahead and put it on the ground or put it as close to the kayak itself, to the body of the kayak. Now we'll go ahead and put the transducer on. I personally like using this handlebar right here. This handlebar has, these handlebars also have the same mounting system on them. So I'm going to go ahead and extend the transducer onto that one. That way it has more stability. So same as before, slide it on there, put it where I'd like to put it, and then just go ahead and tighten it. And then now we'll go ahead and put on the transducer. And the transducer has this ball joint right here. That's how I rigged up this transducer. Simply slide the transducer onto it, open this up, and then tighten it. And then if you're trying to turn the transducer around, just loosen this, turn it into whichever direction you want to turn it into. And that's how I have my LiveScope set up. So I covered the steering system, the rudder system on this, the drive, the seat, how I rig up my LiveScope. I'm not going to go too far in depth on the wiring. If you'd like to see that, go ahead and just put a comment below, and I can show you guys how I went on ahead and rigged that. I showed you how the drive worked. Oars, simple, nothing special. These newer ones are made out of fiberglass versus rubber, so I love it. Super ultra light. And then yeah, the rest of the wiring and the batteries and the black boxes in here for the LiveScope, I usually throw that on the back here. Throw it on the back here, and then throw the wheels into here. And then yeah, I still have enough room over here for also a milk crate, and I throw all my fishing gear in here. Not only that, we have this compartment right here in the middle of the kayak that you can use to store stuff in as well. But yeah, let me go ahead and finish it off by showing you how I load my kayak onto my truck. Okay, so I have my tailgate dropped and ready for me to load my kayak. So usually I just go ahead and drop the tailgate, and I like bringing the back in first because the back is the heavier part of the kayak, and you want the heavier load more towards the center of the truck. So I'm going to flip the kayak full 180 and load the back in first. What I do is push it as close as possible to the kayak, lift it up until it catches onto about that part of the kayak. That way you don't want it sitting on the fins or the rudder, or else it's gonna put a lot of pressure on that light piece of or that really fragile piece of plastic. Right. Then I undo this clip right here. That way the wheels will drop. Slowly lift and push the kayak in there. There we go. Then I have my two straps right here, just standard ratchet straps. And the way that I strap this is I just use two. One will go on top of here and latch down under there. Latch onto that right there. Then I use another strap that latches right there and then goes around the handlebar and goes into there. So I'll show you here in a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and strap it on. So what I do is I like to run it through these holes right here. Then go ahead and do the other side and bring it from the underside of it. Run it through like that. And all the way to the other side. So as you can see, I have the strap going from over into that hole, under it, all the way under the bars, out from under and out to the top of here. And then I have the rest of the end extended like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab this end, and hook it right there, just like that. And grab this strap. And so the way that these ratchet straps are designed, just run the cable through that gap, pull it all the way out, and then just start ratcheting it. I forgot to mention that make sure the kayak is centered, push it all the way forward, but don't tighten it fully yet until you have the top side also strapped, because as you're tightening this side, the front's going to lift up. So I'm going to go ahead and just strap this side on, or hook this hook into the little slot right there. I just run it under and over. That's all you need. This is pretty much a last resort strap, and this also keeps the front end, or the back end, since the back is up front. This keeps the back end down. So we're going to grab the ratchet, go ahead and hook it up, and then it's going to look like this, and just start ratcheting that in. Here's how it looks after I tied it off. It's not the best, but as long as it's not insanely long and then it'll just flap all over the place and people on the road will freak out. So just try to shorten this as much as possible. This will be perfectly just fine. So now that we have the back end of it strapped down, then we can tighten the front end even some more. And as you can see, this is really loose, so we're going to tighten this a good amount, almost until you can't strap it no more, and that's pretty good. And then I like to do a bounce check. When you move the kayak, it moves the entire truck, so that's how you know it's in there nice and secure. Like, this is not going anywhere. I can't even turn it. So that's how I strap my kayak in a nutshell. Let me show you how it is unloading it. So let's go ahead and undo the strap. Go ahead and get it all out of the way. Just pull it all the way out. All right, we'll go ahead and undo this other strap. So untie this. Undo the ratchet. Undo that hook. Pull all this excess off so we get the ratchet itself. I just throw the ratchet on the ground. It's no big deal. Undo that hook. Pull this wire all the way off. And then we start pulling the kayak out. So I pull it out a little bit until I'm able to put the front end on the ground. I try sliding the wheels in. So let me show you how to do that. All right. So I slide it out just a tad bit. That way the holes right here, these holes are exposed and I can put the wheels through them. Just a little bit more. Go ahead and run those wheels through them. Okay, now that I have the wheels on them, I can drag it out even further. And the wheels are there to catch it once it hits the ground. What I like to do is I get it almost all the way down, set the front end on the ground. The front end is going to scrape just a little bit, which is okay. And then I just fully pull it out. And bam, you're good to go. Now to get to the water and get some fish, and that's it. So if you haven't already, please share, like, and subscribe my video. And yeah, let me know if you like videos like these. Let me know if you want me to do a full rundown on how I have my LiveScope rigged up. Good luck to you out there. Keep them lips ripping. Go outdoors.